So Joe Biden is losing very powerful supporters, and it doesn't get much more powerful than Jeff Bezos. And keep in mind, Jeff Bezos, aside from owning Amazon, also owns the Washington Post. The Washington Post endorsed Joe Biden for president. And that means Jeff Bezos endorsed Joe Biden for president. And the Washington Post did as much as anybody to try and get Joe Biden elected. But it sure looks like times have changed, haven't they? And you know what? There's another very powerful, very wealthy person who voted for Joe Biden, who no longer supports Joe Biden. That's Elon Musk. Apparently, he just voted for a Republican for the first time and is leaning towards DeSantis for president. And again, Elon Musk voted for Hillary in 2016, and he voted for Joe Biden in 2020. But he won't be voting that way again. Anyway, here's the headline. Jeff Bezos renews attack on Biden's deep misunderstanding of economics in withering tweet. And my question is, why on earth would anybody have thought that he had any understanding of economics in the first place? And you know, Jeff Bezos, I have to think, is a pretty smart guy. I mean, he might have had some clue before the election that maybe Biden was not entirely competent. You know, just the fact that he wasn't capable of actually campaigning might have been a clue. But anyway, let's get into this. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos blasted President Joe Biden again after the commander-in-chief demanded that gas stations lower their prices and do it now. Says Bezos, a liberal and the owner of the leftist Washington Post, criticized the comment in a tweet that questioned whether Biden understood basic economics. It was the second time in 2 months that Bezos has weighed in with the stinging criticism of Biden. Now, it says here that he's a liberal, and the fact that he owns the Washington Post and the fact that the Washington Post publishes what it publishes would suggest that he is, in fact, a liberal. But I have to wonder if he's not just playing a game that he thinks is going to benefit him. He just thought that left-wing virtue signaling and Biden were going to benefit him the most. And we did see stuff like this. President Trump attacks Amazon again in new tweet. Trump was saying things like this: "I've stated my concerns with Amazon long before the election. Unlike others, they pay little or no taxes to state and local governments, use our postal system as their delivery boy, causing tremendous loss to the U.S., and are putting many thousands of retailers out of business." And when you put it like that, Bezos doesn't sound that liberal, does he? And we've seen stories like this: how Amazon crushes unions. Again, doesn't seem that liberal. So my suspicion about Bezos is that he's actually not ideological at all. He's not left, he's not right. His interest is just self-interest. He's just pragmatically looking for what will benefit him. And he's very willing to pay useful idiots to promote his own personal self-interest. So anyway, Bezos responded to this tweet from President Biden. That's from July 2nd. "My message to the companies running gas stations and setting prices at the pump is simple. This is a time of war and global peril. Bring down the price you are charging at the pump to reflect the cost you're paying for the product, and do it now." Anyway, Bezos responded to this. He said, "Ouch, inflation is far too important a problem for the White House to keep making statements like this. It's either straight ahead misdirection or a deep misunderstanding of basic market dynamics." So I think this is a case where two things can be right at the same time. It's misdirection from the person who's not Biden, who wrote this tweet. And also, Biden has absolutely no understanding of basic market dynamics. And I don't know why anybody would think that he would. Because remember, this is a guy who needs step-by-step instructions for everything, like walking into a room and sitting down. But we should also mention that gas stations are franchises. So they're small businesses. I mean, are they all colluding? Thousands of gas stations are all colluding together to... I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And it really is terrifying to see statements like this that supposedly are from the most powerful man in the world that just make no sense, that are completely inane. And it seems like the administration is just lashing out crazily now, trying to pin the blame on somebody else. Apparently it didn't work blaming Putin, didn't work blaming big oil, and now gasoline retailers. That's not going to work either. People aren't that stupid. And it's not going to fix this. Biden's approval poll sinks below Trump. Keep in mind, Trump had 95% negative coverage from the legacy media. With Biden, they're trying desperately to make excuses for him. They're going absolutely as easy on Biden as they possibly can and making excuses for him. And as we can see, he's not got a lot of friends left. I don't know. I think Alec Baldwin still likes him. Does that count? Anyway, please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. When you share my content, I notice it. It makes a big difference. Thank you very much for that. I'll see you next time.